Hello YouTube and welcome to another GV anime review for spring 2017. Today I am reviewing the highly anticipated second season of the Saekano series called Saenai Heroine no Sodatekata Flat or How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend. Now the first season was actually the first seasonal anime that I reviewed on this channel, and back then I didn't like it. But now, 2 years later, I have become more mature in anime, so I was wondering what this second season would bring. This second season of Saekano starts off exactly where the first season ended. The Dojin Circle, consisting of Aki, Kato, Eriri and Utako, are still working on their first game. And here in this second season, we see how they finish the game and the aftermath of the release. Before I started writing this review, I went back to my original review of the first season to see what I thought of it back then. And something that I already liked in the first season and now again was the music. Again, here I loved the opening song called Stella Breeze. It's one of those opening songs where I can't really pinpoint why I like it. It's just I liked it and that's it. Something that I was very divided about in the first season was the animation. I really liked the sharp 3D animation of the backgrounds, but not of the characters. But I must say that here in the second season, I wasn't bothered anymore by the animation. I don't know if the animation changed at all since it has been 2 years since the first season, but it's more likely that back then I just wasn't used to that kind of animation. So here I did not have a problem anymore with the animation. My biggest problem that I had with the first season was the lack of character development and the characters themselves being quite bland. Now in this second season I have to turn my opinion about that completely around. Here we get a lot more character development than in the first season. Already in the first episode, we learn more about how Aki, Eriri and Utako are related to each other and how it formed the relationships between them. Let's then talk about our main female character, Kato. You could say that in this second season she is, between quotation marks, neglected. Purely based on screen time and influence on the story, Eriri and Utako are way more important than her. But this was actually very clever from A1, because it was the fact that Aki was so focused on Eriri and Utako to finish the game that gave Kato her development. And by the end of the anime, I felt that Kato was finally starting to act as a true main heroine, which was the main goal of this entire anime. But the development that I was really happy with was the one between Eriri and Utako. In the first season, they were just two bickering rivals meant to deliver comedy to this anime. But now we learn how deep their relationship actually is and how much they depend on each other. The 10th episode where this reaches its highest point was by far the best episode of this second season and of the entire anime. Now on almost every level, this second season was way better than its first. But there was one thing that frustrated me enormously. It frustrated me so that I even had to make a Facebook post about it. It was the ending, and more specifically how the anime leaves us hanging on several levels. First of all, in the final episode, which was episode 11 by the way, this was a very short second season, we see something or someone which delivers a perfect setup for a third season. The story was perfectly set up to transit into a new arc. And on top of that, the anime leaves us hanging in terms of the romance. It was so close to giving us an important step forward in the romance, but it denied us that. So overall, this was an ending that isn't an ending. It felt like a transition into a new phase, and I was so frustrated by that after watching the final episode. Now you could be wondering, hey GV, why are you bitching about this? Just wait for the third season to come out. That is true, but I believe that there won't be a third season. That is because this end of this season is also the end of the manga. I checked immediately after finishing episode 11 because I just couldn't believe that that was the end. But it is. The only possibility for a continuation of this story is that they adapt the light novels, from which 2 volumes still have to be released. But I don't think that that's going to happen because the manga is officially finished. So I was extremely frustrated with this end that isn't an end. It leaves me with so many ends that aren't connected. So as a conclusion, I enjoyed this second season way more than the first. Partially that will be because of me being more experienced in anime, but also the way that the story developed was way better here in the second season. Unfortunately, it had to leave me with that frustrating open ending. So overall, I am going to rate Saenai Heroine no Sodatekata flat at 3.5 out of 5 stars. In my opinion, it still isn't the greatest masterpiece from A1 Pictures, but with this second season it passes. My first of 2 recommendations is one of my all-time favorite animes, Sakurasu no Pet Nakanoyo, or Nakanojo, however you want to pronounce it. Both animes feature a male character who wants to get into the gaming industry. Now, Saekano is a harem anime where Sakurasu has more one-on-one relationships. And my second recommendation is The World God Only Knows. Also here we have an otaku male character who knows more about games than girls and who cares more about the game than the girl right in front of him. And also The World God Only Knows is one of my all-time favorite romance comedy animes, so definitely go give it a watch. And with that I conclude my review of Saenai Heroine no Sodatekata flat. As usual, you can find the full list of all my animes and reviews over at Anime Planet. As usual, I will put a link in the description box down below. Now, if you want me to review a particular anime from this list, please put it in the comments. Also, if you have a recommendation for me, put it in the comments as well. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, visit me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and subscribe to this channel for more reviews in the future. Then I will say, arigatou gozaimasu, and I will see you all in the next video.